Hi everyone, this is your Shafiq sir. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So another important topic I want to discuss about that, which is also very important topic for you. So what is the characteristics of developing countries? So it is a very long answer and important answer for you. Characteristics of developing countries, developing economies. So what characteristic is there? So developing countries like that, India is the better example. India is the one developing country. In the special reference of the Indian country, what characteristics are there? So in our examination, they are asking us here that question. um, Describe what is the characteristics of the developing countries with the special reference of Indian economy or Indian country. Special reference through the Indian country, what characteristics is there? Okay, so one by one I will discuss that. So it is very important topic for you. So here, first of all, everyone subscribe my channel, like and share to your friends for more another important videos purpose. Okay, so first characteristic of the developing country, low per capita income. Low per capita income. Per capita income is nothing but per head income of the people is very low is there. Like that, India is the one developing country. Low per capita income. The income of the people is very low than the other rich countries. Rich countries people's per capita income, per head income of the people, or average income of the people is very high in the developed countries. But developing countries people's per capita income is very low is there, because poverty is reflecting low level of per capita income. Why? Because low level of per capita income is there. That is the main problem, is poverty is there. Poverty is reflecting low level of per capita income. There is a high poverty problem is there. Due to that, people's per capita income is very low is there. So in India, absolute poverty is there. Absolute poverty are two types: absolute poverty, relatively poverty. Absolute poverty is nothing but those peoples are not able to fulfill their basic necessities. That is called as a absolute poverty. And there is a highly absolute poverty problem is there. So basic necessities means those peoples has no any food, cloth, shelter. Even they cannot fulfill their basic necessities like that: shelter, education, clothing, health. Poor nutrition problems is there. This is the one problem of the poverty, because that nation is the having that low per capita income. And Kieran Cross explains the underdeveloped countries are the slums of the world economy. So they explain as a, so what is the characteristics of developing countries? So Kieran Cross, the underdeveloped countries means developing countries are the slums of the world economy. So you know that in the world economy, developing countries means poor countries, just like treated as a slums of the world economy. Slum areas means there is no slum areas means, for example, everywhere slum areas are there. There is no permanent residency facility. There is no permanent lifestyle. They are migrating from one place to another place. Like that, developing countries also compared as a slum of the countries are the slums of the world economy. So who is the criticizing that? Kieran Cross. The per capita income in India in 1996, 9,300 rupees is there. In 2013, 22,000 per capita income is there. 2013. So and according to the Rangarajan committee report, poverty in India between the 2011 to 2012, 29.5% is there. The total poverty almost 30% poverty is there still in our India since independence. This is the one highly problem to the our country. That's why India is the one developing country. There is a high poverty problem is there. This is the first characteristic, low per capita income. Second one, predominance of agriculture. Predominance is nothing but there are people, they are most of the people, they are depending on agriculture only. Agriculture is the main source to that Indian people. That is called the predominance of agriculture. In the developing countries, that people's main occupation is the agriculture. Agriculture farming is the main occupation. In the developing countries, 2 by 3rd of the population living in rural areas. Developing countries, almost 2 by 3rd population means 70% of the population living in rural areas, and their main occupation is agriculture. Their main occupation is agriculture. But developed countries peoples, they, their main occupation is like that, they are well education is there, well technology is there, and they are doing the excellent services for the country. But in the developing countries, main occupation is, people's occupation is agriculture is there. In 2017, 42.7% of the people engaged in the agriculture sector, but the contribution of national income is only 16.5%. Listen here, ma. According to the calculations of 2017, how much people are engaging in the agriculture sector? Almost 43% of the people engaging in the agriculture sector, but they contributing that national income only 16.5%. So more peoples are engaging in the agriculture sector, but their contribution is very low, is there only 16.5%. Because farmers depends on, why? Because their contribution is very low in the national income, because farmers depends on rainfalls, and farmers mainly they depends upon the rainfalls, using the low technology. Traditional crops are producing, no modernization, old methods are using, no water supply, irrigation water supply, and productivity is also very low is there. Due to that, in our India, their agriculture contribution is very low is there. Okay. And third characteristic, capital deficiency is there. Deficiency is nothing but shortage is there. Capital mean investment problem also is there in the developing countries. Due to here listen here, due to low savings and low investment, it results the capital deficiency, and labor and resources are unutilized. All the developing countries like that, India, in our India also, the people's savings are very low is there. Low savings is there because low per capita income is there, low income sources are there, low savings, they making that very low saving and low investment. Due to that, there is a capital deficiency is there. It capital deficiency is nothing but we are not developing the industrial sector, like that industrialization problem also is there. Agriculture sector development problem also is there, and service sector development problem also is there. Because of capital problem, investment problem is there in our country. Main reason is low savings and low investment. It results the capital deficiency, and labor and resources are not utilized. India is the one excellent country, there is a excellent manpower is there, labors also is there, but we are not properly utilizing that resources, labor resources. If we are properly utilizing that, we can producing the more production. So this first one, low per capita income, predominance of agriculture sector, capital deficiency also one characteristic. And next one, technological backwardness is there. Technological backwardness means in the developing countries, technology problem is there. According to the technology, they are using the old technology, old machineries and old equipments, they are using that. That's why there is no increase in the production of the country. It results the, that country is a developing country. So just like in our India. So here, listen here, lack of capital is the main reason for technology backwardness. Lack of capital. If there is no capital, if there is no money to use that, if you have the good capital sources, we can use that proper technology. But in our India, capital problem is there. Due to that, we are not purchasing the any machineries, technology. So in the process of production, this is the main thing to backwardness in our India. All the developing countries, they are using the old, developing countries means poor countries, they are using the old technology, old techniques. High illiteracy problem is there. So problems, high illiteracy problem, and non-skilled labors are there. Highly labors is there, but they has no any skills. It results low productivity in India. Low productivity, production levels also very low is there, because they are using that old technology, old productive techniques. High illiteracy problem is there. Illiteracy means uneducated peoples is there. Non-skilled labors are there. Non-skilled means without these skills there, that labors are doing. It results that low productivity in India. And research and development also is very low in the developing country. This is also one characteristic of the developing country, technological backwardness. And another characteristic, inadequate infrastructure facilities. There is no proper infrastructure facilities. Infrastructure facilities is nothing but which is the most important for the development of the country, like that roads, transportation, tourism, and banking, insurance, telecommunication, IT. That is the important facilities. We have to provide that, then only we can develop our country. But in the developing countries, there is a lack of infrastructural facilities is there, like that banking services are not good, there is a low education is there, health problem is there, water supply is not there properly, irrigation supply, power supply means electricity problem also is there, communication, marketing problems also is there. So it is not developed in the developing countries. Developing in their developing countries, these problems are there. That's why that nations are not developed. And sixth one, demographic futures. Demographic means population futures. You know that all the developing countries, they has the a large quantity of population is there, huge population is there in the developing countries, because demography is nothing but population, how the increasing that population in the developing countries. So you know that in the developing countries, that families, that people, they depends upon the size of the family only. They want, if the having that big size of the family, they want to increasing their income of the family. So if you have the 10 members, 12 members each one family, and they think about that we can get the more income sources. So that's why there is highly population is there in the developing countries. But developed countries, there is a low population is there, and they has a very small size of the family is there. So that's why that nations are very excellently developed, faster development is there. But in our India, there is a very slow development is there. So like that, in all developing countries has high population, and their birth rates is very high. So birth rate is very high. So there is high birth rate is there, and low life expectancy also is there. So average 56 years, 66 years, their life expectancy means the lifespan of the people is also very low. But developed countries, up to the 82 years they are living, that that life expectancy is very high. High density of population. So density, already in the 2 marks question I am already explained that per square kilometer what population is there, that is called as a density of the population. There is a high population is there, that's why per square kilometer the population rate also very high. Per square kilometer 3 26 23 peoples are living per square kilometer. But developed countries, they are only 4 to 5 peoples are living in the per square kilometer. So density means the pressure of population is very high is there. High IMR, infant mortality rate, means during the 0 to 5 years most of the children are died, that is called infant mortality rate. Death rate is very high is there. And infant mortality, that is IMR is nothing but infant mortality rate. And the average growth rate of population in India per annum 2.0% is there. Per annum means per year, the average growth of the population 2.0% is there. So 0.7% developing countries. All developing countries, the average growth of population is 0.7% is there in the world, but in our India 2.0% is there. It indicates that high population growth rate is there in our India. In India, under 15 years children, how much population is there? Under the 15 years, 40% of the people, but 25% in developed countries. So developed countries means well developed countries, America, France, Russia, Japan, Germany. Below the 15 years population, only 25% is there, but in our India 40% of the peoples is there below the 15 years. And life expectancy in India 69.4%, almost 70 years is there according to 2019 calculations. The density of population in India 373 per square kilometer is there. Highly population pressure is there, 373 per square kilometer, but in USA 33 per square kilometer is there, and in China only 141. So you know that China population is the first place is there, but Indian country has the second place. But even though China density of population 141 per square kilometer is there, but it is double the Indian population 373 per square kilometer. It indicates that high population pressure is there in our India. And IMR, infant mortality rate 44 per thousand children. So how much children are died below the 0 to 5 years? 44 children are dead every thousand live children. And Indian total population as on 2011 129 crores, at present 148 crores is there. So according to 2022 141.6 crores is there. So China population is 142 crores is there. So only 1 crore population variation is there between the China and India. So whatever it is, this is the demographic features. And high rate of illiteracy problem also one of the main characteristic of the developing country. So high illiteracy, uneducated peoples are highly is there in the developing countries like that India. So how to calculate that illiteracy literacy rate? So there is a one equation is there for the calculating the literacy rate education, like that above 7 years age gap of children divided by total population. If you multiply with the 100, you can find out that what literacy rate is there in our India. So that is one equation. It is also given again 2 marks for short answer purpose. Mostly in developing countries, low level of education is there, and it results the on skills. Skills are very poor. Knowledge also is not there, and training and technology also very poor is there, because if there is education is the one thing, it can change the everything. So everything, so without the education we can't change the anything. So but in our India education problem is there. As per HDI human development index report, according to the education, 129th rank in human development index according to the 2018 human development index. According to the total 193 countries are there in the world, Indian country rank is 129th rank is there according to the human development index. Means we are very backward according to the educational development, human development. Literacy rate in India 82% is there. Total literacy rate in our India 82% is there. So here 100 to 100% literacy rate is not achieving that. So out of that 82%, male literacy rate is 74% is there, female literacy rate is 65% is there. So this is the seventh characteristic, high rate of illiteracy problem. And dualistic economy. So dualistic economy means there is a two levels of economy also is there. Almost all developing countries have dualistic economies. It means market economy and subsistence economy. So two levels of the economy is there, market economy and subsistence economy. The existence of two separate economies within a country is called the dualistic economy. Like that private and dualistic economy is private and public contribution is there. Dualistic economy between rural and urban. So between the rural and urban, so there are the separate economies within a country is called the dualistic economy. So this is the also important for the 2 marks purpose. What is called the dualistic economy? Underdeveloped natural resources. Another characteristic of the developing country, underdeveloped natural resources means natural resources we are not properly utilizing that, because natural resources, for example, iron, steel, nickel, coal, and different natural resources which is important for the development of the country, but we are not properly utilizing them due to technology, due to lack of technology, capital, lack of capital, small extension of markets, and lack of education. Due to that, we are not properly using that proper natural resources. This is also one characteristic of the developing country. And 10th one, lack of entrepreneurship. There is no problem of entrepreneurial skills among the entrepreneurs, means business skills are not there in the developing countries due to the small size market is there. So our market has no any international, market has no demand in the international market, because lack of capital is there, lack of infrastructure, there is no facilities, and lack of technology is there, lack of freedom. It affects the entrepreneurial skills, business skills. And another important point characteristic of the developing country, unemployment and disguised unemployment, unemployment and disguised unemployment. So unemployment means who are unemployment, who are willing to do the work but they are never obtain the any jobs in the country, that is called as unemployment, you know that. But disguised unemployment is nothing but, so where the people engaging than actual requirement, so where the people are engaging than actual requirement, uh, that is called as a disguised unemployment, is compulsory for the 2 marks purpose again. So who are engaged more population than actual requirement in agriculture is called the disguised unemployment. So for example, in the agriculture sector there are required the 10 lakhs laborers, but they are engaging the 20 lakhs laborers are engaging in the agriculture sector. So more than people engaging than actual requirement, 10 lakhs requirement is there, but there are the 20 lakhs laborers are engaged in the agriculture sector. Remaining 10 lakhs farmers laborers is called as a disguised unemployed persons. So unemployment in India, how much unemployment problem is there? 6.1% according to 2018. And what is the social institutions? So you know that social institutions means that is the very important one. Society development also very important one. In the developing countries there is no social development in the country, there is no education development, there is no health development, there is no proper drinking water supply. Social development is not there in the developing countries. So here the Indian society is divided into the many caste and subcaste. So at present also in our India, that people are dividing based on the caste and subcaste. So you are the higher caste people, I am the lower caste, you are the higher caste, and subcaste feelings also is there. So caste feeling highly is there in our India. Due to that, in our society there is a discrimination is there between the people. Some their society can be dividing the two parts like that: higher caste, lower caste, rich people, poor people, haves and have nots. That problems are there in the developing countries. It resulting the frictions in the society. Frictions is nothing but quarrels. So they fight against the peoples, between the peoples like that, poor and rich, haves and have nots. Always they fight between that peoples, and there is some differences also is there. And the religious, social benefits, and customs, scientific attitudes are most important factors in the social society. Social, religious, so they are given the more importance. Religious matters, social beliefs. Social beliefs is nothing but they believe in the superstitions and highly believing that social beliefs means superstition, and they believing that their customs and tradition, and there is no scientific attitudes, they have no any scientific that people has no any scientific knowledge, scientific attitudes are not there, are most impact on the society. So this is the in only developing countries, this kind of situation is there in the developing countries. Next, last one, foreign trade orientation. Foreign trade means foreign business orientation. You know that developing countries are very backward according to the foreign trade. All the developing countries exports primary goods and imports the technology, machinery and tools. Developing countries, they import that primary goods means low quality goods exporting the other countries, but these countries importing the costly raw material like the technology, machinery, tools. It is effect on the economy also. There is a foreign trade also, there is no good trade among the different countries. This too much depends on the imports. So India is also too much depends on imports like the technology, machinery, tools, everything. We every time we can import from the other countries, we have to too much depends on other countries. It affects on our Indian economy. So these are the 13 points are very very important points for the characteristics of the developing countries. It is a very very important topic for the long answer purpose. So everyone take that one screenshot about the characteristics of the developing countries. So here 3 points is there. So take it one screenshot, everyone. Okay. And the next page, here also take it one screenshot from fourth side heading to 10th side heading. So there is a clear notes is there about the this long answer, and some more topics also is there here. Here also take it one screenshot. Okay, it is very very important topic for you. That is what is the characteristics of developing countries in the special reference of Indian economy or Indian country. Okay, thank you for watching my class, so watching my video. So everyone subscribe my channel, like and share to the your friends. Okay, thank you.